Hey everybody, welcome back. It is, what's today, like January 23rd? So we were supposed to already do a...
29.
No.
Yeah.
29.
Yeah.
So have we done a January video yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then good, we made it by 2 days. Good job, Brian. Anyway, we're gonna start up front today because Justin just dropped off this knife and I entered a raffle and won it, and he's a local dude. He's actually the same guy that made the chef's knife for Michael White for us. But check that bad chicken out. It's pretty cool, especially for what I paid for it because I got it in a raffle. We paid a lot more for chefs. But here, look, free advertisement, not paid, not sponsored, nothing. But check out Justin, he's a rad dude, and I just won that knife, and he makes some cool shit. Okay, we're out here now in the shop. We got a bunch going on. Let's start here. This is Frank's dually, previously Horizon Motorsports owned this. It was lowered. It's got these direct bolt 22s that are for sale. So hit up myself or Eye Candy Paintworks. Actually, the whole lowering kit that's on this truck is for sale. I think it was like a 4.6 drop, but you can get everything because we're not using any of it. So springs, spindles, wheels, tires. I don't know what's lower in the back, but if you want it, we'll pull it off and you come get it. Wheels, I think, are worth a good amount. Suspension stuff, come make us an offer. Anyway, we're about to get started on this. As you can see, we're measuring the rear axle. So this already had a fleet side axle in it, and we know that because we took some measurements. So I don't think we're gonna have to narrow the axle. I'm not a dually expert by any means, but we do have 3 to do. So by the time I'm done, we'll be dually experts. These are custom cut wheels by Michael's Truck Works. They're here in town over in Mesa. And they're kind of cool because they're flat faced, but he also cuts this extra detail into the wheel that you don't see on a lot of them. Like even those don't have it. So the plan for this is to lay it out on these 24s and give it back to Frank. Easy, we're done in a week. We have 55 Chevy truck that we can show you in the videos, but we can't post on Instagram, so we'll go over everything we're doing here. This is a 408, something like that. It's a motor was already in the truck when we got it, so we'll just say that. It is a stroker motor. I think it's a 408, based on the LQ9 engine. Got a 4L60 transmission. When it came to us, it ran like absolute dog stuff. And so we're putting all new electronics in it. We got a modern vintage harness. We got a painless harness. We got a new 0411 computer. We changed out the valve covers because the coils were really ugly. So we put a nice set of Holley valve covers on there. We're reusing the Phytech intake and throttle body, changing some of the sensors. And then obviously, as you can see, the entire truck is getting all new wiring, new fuel plumbing. We're changing some of the brake stuff, but we're just making it to where it's going to be a nice, reliable driver. It had a big rake to it, so we lowered the back a little bit. I've got tune scheduled for Thursday, so they need to wrap this up. Today's Tuesday. Wrap it up tomorrow because Thursday morning they'll be tuning. And I had knee surgery, so if you see me like hopping around and something, it's because it hurts. Preston's OBS. This is another, although that was theirs, is now Frank's, but this is another one for Horizon Motorsports. And we've shown you this one before. We've got all the underhood in there. We've got the pulley set up on there. We've got the exhaust done that Brian will do some B-roll on. But basically, we kind of followed Roadster Shop's guide on how to route the exhaust. So the exhaust is dual, comes over, goes into a true X-pipe MagnaFlow muffler, and then comes back out and is dual exits. ABS for this is the pump for our ABS master cylinder. So we've talked about these 1,000 times. You can get them on our website. This is what we like to use. We've got to change this out, put a 90 on there, but you can see we've got ultimate headers. We've got the Roadster Shop chassis, we've got the Roadster Shop gas tank, and then we've got that big MagnaFlow muffler, so they call this like their true X. So inside here is actually an X-pipe. So we got 2 in, X-pipe, 2 out. We got up and over the axle, we come down, and then we split and go out each way. All right, then we've got Larry's truck, which I think from the last video didn't have any bed in it. And now the bed's nearly complete. It looks like a mess now because Chris is a messy guy. But the cool thing about this is he made a lot of this, set it in here, tacked it together, pulled it out, and welded it, which you can see on our Instagram. And then that way he was able to hammer and dolly some of the weld seams. And then this went back in. And now he had the fun task of welding 100 feet or so, probably, huh? 6, 12, 24. I mean, there's at least 50 feet. There's another 5 probably, plus that, plus that. So there's a lot of welding and a lot of grinding, but he's almost done. And then we'll work on the back section and there'll be more welding and grinding. But this is coming out killer, and this is gonna get painted. I hear you, Josh, about the painting the bed. So we heard you loud and clear, so we're gonna paint the side of the bed. No bed liner, except for the middle will be wood. This is another job that came in for a guy named Jared, and it's turned out to be more than I remember talking about, but we're still gonna try to knock this one out real quick. Basically, this is a truck that was built, I don't know where, but it had a carburetor on top of the LS and like a turbo 400 transmission. Why anyone in the right mind would ever put a carburetor on an LS, I don't know. There's a special place for people like you. Like I was saying before Chris interrupted with the loud working and things, like why would you work around here? Took off the carburetor, fixed a broken bolt in the head for the intake manifold. We're installing a new intake manifold, new throttle body, changing everything over to modern fuel injection like a LS is supposed to be, and no stupid carburetor. Eddie Motorsports pulley setup going on it, which the boxes were here. He must have moved. Yeah, they're on the table. See? So pulley setup, intake manifold, throttle body, all new electronics, and then we'll put this thing back together with a new radiator, new steering column, same brake master cylinder that we like in the ABS. So all of that will kind of handle the front end. And then in the back end, Finesse Concepts. I don't know what that is, but that's what's stamped in here. So maybe that's who built the truck. As far as aesthetics go, it's not like our style, but the welds and everything look nice and should have no problems. And he doesn't want to change any of that because he's not sure if he's going to keep this truck or start over. But so what we're going to do to make it a nice, reliable, running, driving truck, we pulled the gas tank out of the cab. We cut this crossmember back here that had some of the compressors and stuff on it. And then we're going to put a gas tank back here with a bed fill. We'll mount the 2 compressors up front, so we'll redo some of this hard line so that it goes away and goes to the front. We'll get rid of whatever that chintzy little battery is over there, and we'll build a battery mount for 2 batteries there. And then we've got to build a new exhaust for it because it dumped like right behind the cab, and he said it was super annoying and loud. So again, all the wiring from headlight to taillights getting changed, all the fuel systems getting changed. Brake lines and air lines, except for the ones going to the compressor, seem to be good, so we'll leave a lot of that stuff alone. This has huge 26s, and we don't have the bed yet. We're gonna have to get the bed here though, so we can figure out how tall to make our gas tank. So hopefully this one cruises really quick. I think we showed you that in the last video 2 weeks ago, and we hadn't really gotten much of a start on it, and we're gonna start it up this week. So hoping that one is running and driving and out to Steve at Interior to fix up maybe by next week. So. Yeah, see, I keep saying so. I hope you guys are drinking a lot watching this. All right, this is like the storage side of the shop these days. I feel like this is a multi-use space. Like every time we come over here, it's doing something differently. So Manny's truck is a 67 C10 that you've seen in here before. It's been over at Frank's for a little while. And Frank, I think, just put it in final prime. At least the bed went into final prime. So once we get to the point where he's kind of wrapping up bodywork over there, then we start ordering interior stuff. For his, we decided to go with the TMI seat, and it's still bagged up, so I'll show you when we get to interior. But this is the one that has, it's a bench seat, but then the back is like a 40-40 and then a 20. And the 20 you can fold up and down for an armrest, or you can fold it up and somebody can sit there, and then it has a fold out thing, so it still has like center console storage. So this is seat and seat frame for that. This is gonna go over to Mr. Dominic, and all the black vinyl that's on here is gonna get stripped off, and we're gonna put gray leather on it. So we've done this a few times with the TMI, where we take off their factory vinyl and we put on nice brand new leather. I kind of like the vinyl, but some people really like leather, so we'll do either one for you. Milan's truck, I think this was here last time you guys were here. It was in the same exact spot. We haven't touched it. We have steering parts for it, but we're kind of taking a break on this one for him. I am going to, when I make the gas tank, because these are one-off gas tanks, right? So I gotta draw up one for the green C10 over there. I'll draw up one for this, and we'll get both gas tanks cut and welded at the same time. We can cut them here on our plasma, and then Hector or Laramie can weld them up. Chef's Tahoe hasn't changed. Need to drive it. It rained for a couple days and I couldn't drive it, and then I had knee surgery, and then Barrett-Jackson happened. So I'm hoping I can get some mileage on that tomorrow or Thursday. I think all the issues that we've had with this simplest LS swap ever are resolved, and I just want to put like another 150 miles on it and make sure. Kratos' truck. I told you in the last video to go say congratulations to him because he just got engaged. So now that he's done spending all of his money on an engagement ring, he sent us money for the truck, and we can get back to work on that. And pay no attention to the glass cleaner because this is just filling a void for that little muffler thing on the intake. But we'll be building the whole intake for this once we get this thing laid out. But I can fire it up for you. We've got our EDC on there, which again, brackets available on the website. We don't sell a ton of parts, but there's, is that a spider? This thing sat in a field since, I think I said like 2004 or 2006. And I had it up in the air, working on it, and this black widow just goes right in front of my face. So we found some spiders lurking in here, and we're trying to get rid of them. But anyway, so short story is the engine was blown up when I got it. I knew that it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad, but took it out the day that I got it to the shop, took it over to Kelly's machine shop. They found me a new used block, like a core block, machined that 30 over. All the original rods except for the one bent one are back in. They were able to just find one rod for me. Original crank, original cam, new pistons because of the board 30 over, new lifters because yes, and then all new bearings, races, seals. We powder coated a bunch of stuff, so valve covers, intake manifold, upper and lower, throttle body, bracket for the EDC, some of the pulley brackets, some of the pulleys, and then what we didn't powder coat, like AC compressor and alternator, and the new York 210. For the EDC, we just painted black, ditched all of the ABS and brake master cylinder stuff, put in a Barrett remaster, did all new brake lines, and then we started tucking all the wires inside, and now the thing runs. Hopefully it still starts. It's been a week. Woo! A lot of people asked if I was going to do anything to the motor and if I was going to build it and yada yada, and I just wanted, like, all the EGR stuff is back on this. When we fired it up, the O2 sensors are in, everything's plugged in. I made sure everything was plugged in before we fired it up, and I don't even have a check engine light. So that's pretty cool considering that this thing was 100% apart. I re-loomed every single wire just about and plugged everything back in, all the emission stuff, the smog pump's still running. Everything's doing exactly as it would have done from the factory and proven because we have no check engine light. But anyway, playing with this, lay it out. As soon as we're done with Frank's, I've got Michael's Truckworks wheels coming for this. We were doing Michigan Metalworks arms on the front and rear, so if you saw my little laser thing on Instagram, that was Michigan Metalworks putting our logo on the top of his Jeebus joint caps for the upper control arms. We've got slam bags going front and rear, AccuAir. We're doing 2 tanks in both the trucks, so we're just doing one Endo T, which is tank, and then one Endo VT, which is the valve tank. And we'll have E-level, so get in, press button 2, and mob these things down the road. All right, I'm gonna sit down because we can go over some news and what's happening around here. So if anybody saw me at Barrett, I had knee surgery, so I'm healing from that. That kind of sucked. But at Barrett-Jackson, the Bronco that we're working on, we had it, Frank kind of got it into primer, and he did the body work on the shell, and that was in primer, and JP from Paradise Customs, they had a booth there. So they had Goose, they call it, which was one of the Broncos we sold last year. It actually is the highest price sold Bronco that wasn't a charity or a 4-door to date. So they had that on display, and then they had the shell that we've been working on with all the modifications we've done to the tub and the coyotes in it and all that fun stuff. So one big news for us for Barrett was that sold as an incomplete project for $350,000. But I say incomplete, meaning like currently it's incomplete, but the $350,000 sale price was a completed price. So pretty cool that somebody would pay $350,000 for a Bronco just based on what they know we can do and how it will be finished out. And they may even add some to that, and it may become more than that. So we've got that Bronco sold at Barrett, and then my old truck, which was not owned by me anymore. I think that was one of the big confusions, but I sold it to a guy named Tim up in Northern California a little while back, and he was too scared to drive it because it was too pretty, and now he's trying to buy my patina truck. But he sold it or commissioned it, or I didn't get all the details, to a company called MS Classic Cars, and they're the ones that rolled it through Barrett-Jackson. So we were there for that. Obviously, it's my old truck. I don't get really emotionally tied to something, but that was one of my favorites, so I wanted to be there for when it went through. Whole bunch of guys on stage with us, which is neat. Kind of helped them promote the sale, and that thing ended up hammering for $300,000, which means somebody paid $330,000 for old orangish. So that was cool. Barrett-Jackson was a fun time. I think we drummed up some good business there. I think it helps when you sell a couple of vehicles over $300,000 at the auction. So that's happened. We're over that now. Our next show is LST, which is in a little less than 30 days, right? I think we leave on the 22nd or 23rd. I think the show starts on the 24th, 25th, something like that, of next month, February. So come see us out there. As usual, we'll have shirts and hats and tailgate latch kits and that type of stuff for sale. The plan this year is to just bring my personal patina truck, the one with the turbo that everybody loves so much. So that'll be there. Maybe Wendell's gonna come out from Georgia and bring his OBS, but he doesn't know if the dates work for that yet. I'm getting this again. I seem like I get this. Oh, we're gonna do 2 wrap-up videos minimum. We can kind of give you a short wrap-up on this maybe next 2 weeks from now. We'll give you a short wrap-up on this right before it goes home. But we've got one leaving today temporarily because he's decided to add more stuff to it. But he's got another truck that we've got to do stuff to first. So we'll go right now. So I don't know which video to post first, but we'll go right now and we're going to do a wrap-up on the K5 with the Rosa Shop chassis, RS4, and the big Don Hardy supercharged engine. So we're going to go do that. And then at some point in the near future, we need to do the wrap-up video on my truck, right? You're not doing it. There you go. So pay attention to the channel. We will have 2 wrap-up videos coming up. We'll see you at LST. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Go buy some shirts and hats. Promote the channel. Later. And now I'll hobble away.